Are you married? Living with mom? Do you share an apartment with 2 women and have to pretend to be gay so the landlord doesn't kick you out? You need a change. You need a reset. But maybe you don't have the time, or the money, or the friends for a wild night out on the town. Maybe your best bet is a guy's night in.
You mean you want me to knock up your broad?
Hi, I'm Jabe, and I'll be your guide year by year for the best movies made by men, for men. So fire up that torrent app, grab a beer, and push back on that recliner as we check out the most manly movies of 1975. The first movie I'd suggest is French Connection 2. It's a gritty detective movie with Gene Hackman on the hunt in Marseille. I go into more detail about it in the main This Year in Movies video, the link below. But suffice it to say, there are no female parts to gum up the works. Next up, Framed. Fitting this year's theme of corruption and conspiracy, Joe Don Baker plays a guy who's just won a big chunk of money at a card game. Driving home at night, he stumbles onto an ongoing hit and flees the scene. Before he can call the cops, a corrupt deputy shows up to threaten him, and the ensuing scuffle leaves the deputy dead and Baker arrested. The authorities find the bag of cash, and they force him to plead guilty to manslaughter, or else face the electric chair for killing a cop. The rest of the story focuses on Baker's time in prison and his hunt for vengeance once he's released.
They came and they used me.
What do you mean they used you?
I mean, they used me.
The action is gritty and visceral. And the reveal of where the corruption leads is fairly well done. My favorite detail is how Baker's prison buddy is hired to assassinate him, but instead they team up to take the bad guys down.
Oh, you jive ass. You're kidding me. You're not gonna kill me.
Well, they gave me 24 hours.
It's not non-stop action, and the production is a little rough around the edges, but it's got that 70s neo-noir flavor that just might scratch that guy's night itch. Then there's Hard Times, where Charles Bronson plays a hard-boiled prizefighter who drifts into Depression-era New Orleans. Coburn soon becomes his manager, a fast talker who'll win $5,000 off Bronson's fight in the afternoon,
For anybody expects a repeat.
then lose it at craps by midnight. It's a simple story with no pretensions. A drifting fighter comes into town, the small-time powers that be try to cheat him, but he gets the best of them and moves on. It's interesting to compare this to Rocky, which came out the following year. Rocky is about a loser who becomes a winner, and not because he wins the fight, but because he never gives up. The romance in the movie feeds that arc. Adrian's belief in him is part of what gets Rocky over the finish line. Bronson starts a relationship with a woman partway through this movie as well.
Would you like to talk or just sit?
But it has no real bearing on the story or on his character. When she eventually leaves him for someone who's more stable,
I'm gonna get a better place. I got a better offer.
it doesn't touch him at all. It's just another thing that happens to a man who doesn't change for anyone or anything.
Looks like you got things all figured out.
He's the same fighter at the end as the one who stepped off the train at the beginning of the movie.
You listen to me. Just because some sleazy female knocked you in the head and bruised your ego, there's no reason to become a jealous juvenile.
Now we get to the wildest movie of the year, A Boy and His Dog. It's 2024, and the world is a nuclear wasteland.
World War III. Hot and cold. Lasted from...
Hold. Female. Rover pack has her, 125 yards.
Don Johnson is a scavenger looking for food and women, partnered with a telepathic dog named Blood.
I'm sorry, Blood. I believe you about over the hill. Hell, I believe anything you tell me.
How and why Blood can communicate telepathically is never explained or even referenced.
And you can shove that part about how you lost the ability to hunt for food when you learned how to talk.
We don't even know if there are other telepathic dogs running around. But in any case, Blood is smarter and better read than Johnson.
One does not say ain't, Albert. Simply say, I'm not kidding.
Fine, dog meat.
Now this is played as satiric black comedy, but it's all rather brutal, and it breaks every rule of Hollywood decency.
You handle it?
Oh, yes, Massa Vic. I can handle it.
The main story is how Johnson finds a real woman and how she might be more than just a casual date. She's cleaner and more educated than anyone he's ever met. And it turns out she's from a hidden community who escaped the nuclear holocaust by living underground. She invites him below, and Johnson is introduced to a whole new world. The people are frozen in a corrupted form of traditional Americana, But by cutting themselves off from the upper world, the men are no longer fertile, and no one can bear any children. So Johnson is asked to stay with them, be their stud.
Our women can't get pregnant. Every once in a while, we need new blood.
And at first, the idea has its merits.
You mean you want me to knock up your broad?
But when he finds out the community has no intention of letting him touch their women, and that instead they're going to milk him like a bull, he has second thoughts.
Big Chris, I'm so sorry. Are you all right?
Don't you give me that I'm sorry bullshit.
This really was the find of the year for me. I had never seen it before. Hell, I'd never seen anything like it before. If you're easily offended, you may want to pass it by.
Breeding is an ugly thing.
But that's why it's the perfect pick for a guy's night in.
No known infections.
Nothing other than the usual. Syphilis, running sores, and clap.
Last one of the year, the Eiger Sanction, starring and directed by Clint Eastwood. I had never seen this one either, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. Eastwood plays Jonathan Hemlock, an art professor with a secret past as a government assassin, pulled back in for one more job because of his other special talent. He's a world-class mountain climber.
Resting already, Doctor? Come on, let's get moving.
From the start, the movie leans into a string of over-the-top spy movie tropes.
Even the slightest direct light causes me intense pain.
With colorful villains.
Does your physical disability preclude you from coming to the point?
Sexy female accomplices, and questionable dialogue that you'll only find in the 70s.
I get lost, cupcake.
The first half plays less like a spy thriller and more like a satirical parody, whether that was the intention or not. The middle section is a training sequence where Hemlock has to get back into climbing shape. His trainer's assistant is super hot.
She's a girl.
And it's not long before they're both training in the bedroom. But it turns out she's a femme fatale and Hemlock barely survives. Again, it's fun because in this kind of story, women are either trying to sleep with you or kill you.
She's a girl.
Then the story shifts gears and there's a midpoint sequence where Eastwood and George Kennedy are scaling a rock tower in Utah. And here's the thing that really blew me away. This is mid-70s filmmaking. No CGI, nothing faked. Eastwood did a lot of his own climbing. There's a shot near the middle where the camera pulls straight up and reveals Eastwood and Kennedy sitting on top of a rock spire hundreds of feet in the air. And it had my stomach in knots. And I don't care if they got helicoptered up there for the shot or not. It's an incredible moment of real, practical filmmaking. For the end, I saw the twist coming a mile away, but it doesn't matter. This movie still works. It may not be the best film in the world, but it's a fun way to spend a guy's night in. So that's the picks for 1975. Let's break down the scorecard. French Connection 2, Framed, and Hard Times all get 3 out of 5 stars. Solid, gritty 70s watches. Nothing spectacular, but nothing you'll regret either. The Eiger Sanction gets 4 stars, and it's my pick for the widest range of guys. Genuinely fun, hilarious in places, with some of the best practical stunt work you'll ever see. And A Boy and His Dog takes 5 stars. The best movie of the bunch for me, and probably the most memorable thing I've seen all year. It's dark and it's strange and it may not be for everyone, but if it clicks, nothing else here comes close. Let me know in the comments which of the movies here you've seen and what you'd pick for your own guy's night in. And if you want the full picture of 1975, check out my This Year in Movies video linked below.